What if I told you? A man once roamed the forests of India, feared by thousands. A ruthless killer who wore a garland of fingers around his neck. He was known as Angulimala, the finger necklace murderer. And yet, this same man would one day fall at the feet of the Buddha and transform into one of his most devoted disciples. Today, I will tell you this unbelievable but true story. The story of how the Buddha's compassion turned a heart of stone into a saint of peace. Long before he became Angulimala, he was born as a Himsika, which means the harmless one. His parents were overjoyed, for astrologers predicted that he would grow into a wise and noble man. He was bright, handsome, and gifted. As a young boy, Ahimsaka was sent to study under a great teacher. He quickly became the favorite, excelling in knowledge and discipline. But this special attention created jealousy among his classmates. They whispered lies to the teacher. Ahimsaka mocks you behind your back. Ahimsaka wants to take your place. Day by day, poison dripped into the teacher's mind. Finally, blinded by jealousy, the teacher decided to destroy his own student. He said to Ahimsaka, "You have been my best pupil, but before your training is complete, you must give me a final offering, a gift of 1,000 human fingers. Bring them to me, and your education will be finished." Ahimsaka was shocked. "How can I kill innocent people?" But the teacher insisted. "This is the only way. Obey, or you will fail." Confused, loyal, and trapped, Ahimsaka obeyed. He went into the forest and began killing travelers, cutting off their fingers and stringing them into a gruesome garland around his neck. Soon the whole kingdom trembled at his name. He was no longer Ahimsaka, the harmless one. He became Angulimala, the man with the garland of fingers. Villagers fled in terror. Merchants refused to travel the roads. The king himself ordered soldiers to hunt Angulimala down. But Angulimala was too fierce, too fast. His number of victims grew 100, 300, 500, until he had nearly 1,000. Mothers prayed that their children would be spared. Men avoided the forests. Angulimala had become the very symbol of death. One day, Angulimala saw a woman screaming in pain, about to give birth in the forest. But his heart, hardened by blood, felt nothing. At the same time, the Buddha, through his divine vision, saw this suffering, both of the woman and of Angulimala. He thought, "This man, though drowned in sin, still has the seed of goodness. If I do not meet him now, he will fall forever into darkness. But if I reach him today, he could become a saint." So the Buddha calmly walked into the forest alone, towards the lair of the most feared murderer. From a distance, Angulimala saw a lone monk walking towards him. "Finally, my 1,000th victim," he roared. He lifted his sword and charged. But something strange happened. No matter how fast he ran, the monk always remained just a few steps ahead. Panting, furious, Angulimala screamed, "Stop, monk! Stop!" The Buddha turned and said gently, "I have stopped, Angulimala. It is you who have not stopped." Those words pierced Angulimala's heart. "What do you mean?" he shouted. The Buddha replied, "I have stopped harming living beings. I have stopped violence, stopped hatred. But you have not stopped. Your hands drip with blood. Your heart burns with anger. When will you stop?" For the first time, the murderer's eyes filled with tears. All his years of killing flashed before him. The faces of the dead, the cries of the mothers, the curses of the innocent. He dropped his sword. He fell at the Buddha's feet, and he cried, "Great teacher, help me. Save me from myself." The Buddha placed his hand on Angulimala's head and said, "No one is beyond redemption. Take refuge in me. Take the robe of a monk and walk the path of peace." From that day, Angulimala threw away his weapons and became a monk in the Sangha. The same people who once trembled at his name now watched in disbelief as he begged for alms with humility. But not everyone forgave him easily. Some villagers hurled stones at him, angry for the loved ones he had killed. He bore their blows silently, remembering Buddha's words, "Endure their anger with patience. This is your penance." One day, Angulimala saw a woman struggling in childbirth. the same woman he once ignored. This time, his heart burned with compassion. He rushed to the Buddha and said, "Master, how can I help her? I am a sinner, unworthy of blessing anyone." The Buddha said, "Go to her and say, 'Sister, since I was born into the noble life of monkhood, I have never intentionally harmed a living being. By this truth, may you and your child be safe.'" Angulimala protested, "But Master, I killed so many." Buddha smiled. "That was in your past life as a murderer. Now you are reborn as a monk. Speak from this truth." He went, repeated the words, and the woman safely delivered her child. For the first time, Angulimala felt the power of true compassion. Over time, Angulimala became one of the most gentle monks in the Sangha. He meditated deeply, practiced kindness, and served others. The villagers who once cursed him slowly began to respect him. They saw the change with their own eyes. The murderer was gone, and in his place stood a saint. When he finally passed away, the Buddha declared, "Among my disciples, Angulimala shines as an example of how even the greatest sinner can become a saint if he turns towards truth." The story of Angulimala is not about murder. It is about transformation. No matter how deep our sins, no matter how dark our past, there is always a chance for change. The Buddha's message is clear. Hatred never ends through hatred. Hatred ends only through love. If even Angulimala, the ruthless killer, could become a monk filled with compassion, then truly anyone can change. So friends, the next time you think someone is beyond hope, remember Angulimala. Remember that one kind word, one moment of compassion, can awaken even the hardest heart. If this story inspired you, hit the like button, write in the comments. Compassion can change the world. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories of the Buddha.